Hello, I'm Finola Burke from Research as a Service, and welcome to our 2022 Outlook series. In this session, we're focusing on mental health monitoring and support SaaS platform, Total Brain, ASX ticker TTB. And joining us is Chief Executive Officer, Matt Mund. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Thank you, Finola. Great to be here.
Now, in this last quarter of 2021, and with a new go-to-market strategy, Total Brain added a number of new provider, pharma, and population health clients. And the company's platform technology and its core clinical data assets have received significant validation through the data licensing deals with Johnson & Johnson's Janssen Research and Alto Neuroscience, and from the partnership deal you've done recently with Cerner Health to integrate your digital neurotech platform into Cerner's behavioural health integration support solution. Can you take us through the significance of these deals and what it means for Total Brain in 2022?
Yes, of course. So thanks for the question, Finola. These deals are quite significant, as you mentioned, both significant both financially and strategically to Total Brain. On the financial side, they've added a material increase to our cash position, which of course is great. The J&J and Alto Neuroscience data licensing deals both validate our data assets, as you noted, but they also highlight a new and growing opportunity in support of pharma. But also, and specifically with Cerner, we've added yet another enabler of long-term ARR growth, which obviously is a key SaaS metric that we focus on as a company. Strategically, these deals represent a validation of our product market fit and the types of opportunities that we plan to focus on moving forward. These opportunities, they align really well against three key areas that we believe set us apart in the market and make us really valuable partners. So that's like things like our integrated use cases for mental health. Those are all of our tools for capacity measurement, mental health screening, stress management, self-care. There's a second key asset that's our mental health data and analytics. So that's everything, all the data that underpins the standardization of our tools, as well as the way that we can deliver actionable insights to client. And of course, iSpot is a massively valuable asset that we've just started to commercialize. And the last part is the scalable and configurable platform. This is our ability to be flexible in how we deploy, whether as a branded product or as an integrated white label product. These are areas where we've been investing for several years, advancing these key areas to align with where we see the opportunity in the market. We see that opportunity in supporting outcomes-based mental health. Our clinically validated mental health monitoring and support tools for providers and platforms, they fit real nicely into that market need. So these deals are very exciting because they represent the validation of that market opportunity. And replicating deals like these, where we can accelerate provider and platform outcomes, that will be a primary focus for us moving forward.
I think one of the, you've badged the white label Total Brain Insight, is that right? So are you exploring other opportunities for Total Brain Insight to be part of or co-opted into other health platforms? And with that, can you explain a little bit about the benefits that Total Brain Insight brings to its partners?
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned TB Inside. That's our white label approach to powering other platforms with our tool set. We also have an approach we call TB Direct or Total Brain Direct, in case that's not apparent. And that's the approach where we deliver our services via our branded member app and provider platform. These two approaches, they represent how we deploy the technology, and that approach applies to all of our three segments, regardless of which type of potential client. I'm just taking a little bit of a step back. When we first started to reimagine the Total Brain platform a few years ago, we aligned around one key concept that drove the architecture for the platform. We saw that the market opportunity was very broad for digital mental health. We saw that needs would vary across clients, and we also saw that we had no idea how to exactly set requirements for all of them. So that drove us to architect the platform with a ton of flexibility so that we can provide our services via TB Direct, if someone wants to have an out-of-the-box approach, or via TB Inside, so where a partner can integrate our tools in whatever configuration, workflow, experience, whatever that fits their business. We internally talk about this as our Lego approach, where partners can pick and choose how to build exactly what they want and need. So that technical flexibility coupled with the depth of our tools is a key aspect of what is driving much of our recent traction here. TVA Insight allows us to access segments of the market that we frankly never would or could access directly. So if you think about that in areas that might make sense for us, so like telehealth or MSK, education, chronic care management, population health, remote patient monitoring, all of these are very, very different types of segments of the market, all falling around that sort of provider support or population health. But they have a common need for digital mental health monitoring and support. They all just want to consume it in their own individual way.
Well, ARP and IBM, as you mentioned, are both early users of TB Inside. Can you give us an update on the IBM Grit rollout to US veterans?
Yeah, great question. AARP is one of our first TB Inside clients and such a great partner who has built a very strong product for the 50 plus population. And we're very, very proud to be part of that, that service. IBM and the VA, also incredible partners. We're very grateful to be able to work with them on such an important effort to support our veterans. IBM formally launched GRIT in early December. The approach that the VA took was to introduce the solution first to several VSOs. Those are veteran service organizations. The intent was to iterate on their feedback and then extend more broadly across VSOs and the larger VA population. It's a really great approach that we are excited to support, as the best way to build a great product is to do it with feedback from your end users. So we've been working very tightly with a few key VSOs. The feedback has been very, very positive, and they're providing fantastic feedback, which is making its way back into the platform. So we expect to continue the population expansion in the coming weeks and months.
And the third prong of your strategy has been to align with the provider market, particularly as they're able to secure reimbursement for their services. What can we expect from this market in 2022, Matt?
Yeah, a great question. And that's right. Overall, we have recently refined this segment name to provider support. And that's to put a focus on the providers of healthcare services, whether that's clinics or health systems. The provider space is obviously very broad, but two key examples, subsegments where the value is very clear are substance use disorder and for behavioral health. Both of these subsegments have a very aligned need for validated mental health monitoring and screening that supports not only their patient intake and benchmarking, but also supports the longitudinal measurement of progress or regression during or after treatment. So substance abuse, that's currently and largely a cash pay or bundled payment approach. So reimbursement is not generally applicable there, or at least not at this time. But behavioral health is where there is such a great opportunity for clinics and health systems to utilize Total Brain to not only support their clinical plan of care, but also to augment the revenue for their practice. The tools and data output from Total Brain currently enable reimbursement against multiple CPT codes. Those are the insurance reimbursement codes. Those codes are for everything from the assessment itself, for follow-up visits associated with review results with patients, and for specialty neuropsych evaluation when a specialty neuropsych is in the practice. So the additional revenue from reimbursement in most cases actually pays for the cost of the Total Brain platform. And in many cases, the provider will generate incremental margin for their business, which could be substantial new income for them. And so, as you mentioned in your initial question, we have seen traction, pretty significant traction in our provider support segment in the last few months. We've onboarded many new small, mid, and large-sized providers. These new contracts have the opportunity to grow over time as the providers bring in more patients onto the platform and, of course, purchase additional user licenses. So this segment is a big focus for our go-to-market, so we expect that type of momentum to continue.
Well, Matt, we're looking forward to catching up with you again through the course of 2022 to check on Total Brain's progress. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Finola. Great to talk as always.